Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cruising with the Clements. We're making our way to Alaska, and this week we're currently in Dawson City, Yukon. In last week's video, we took the George Black Ferry across the Yukon River, checked out a few tours on the history of Dawson, did some gold panning. And this week, we're going to take a few more tours, check out a famous show at Diamond Tooth Gertie's, and a little trip up the Dempster Highway to check out Tombstone Territorial Park. Come along with us, and we hope you enjoy. Dredge number 4 is a wooden-hulled bucket-lined sluice dredge that mined placer gold in the Yukon River from 1913 to 1959. Dredge number 4 is one of the few remaining examples of a bucket-lined sluice dredge. It is also a reminder of the importance of gold mining in the Klondike region, and thus designated as a National Historic Site of Canada in 1997. It is also the tallest structure in all of Dawson City, standing at 7 stories high. Coop's getting some sand or some dirt from the pile. Oh, I see you're working smarter, not harder, huh? Got 2 buckets full. Pans full.
One's for you.
Oh, thank you. The dredge is right down from the poke mine, so we went back to do some more panning.
I'm on a roll today. How many pieces have you found today?
A pretty good amount. I think Bryce is like equal.
Yeah.
We've got like 9 or 10 pieces now.
Okay.
We're
You
doing
just
pretty
found
good.
another one on your last one, you said?
Yeah.
But now you found another one?
Yeah.
I told Connor to ring the
Do we have enough to buy a catamaran?
Yes.
Should be.
I don't know how much catamarans are now, but I'm gonna say no.
We are having date night. We fed the kids and we're coming out here to catch the can show at Diamond Tooth Gertie's. We're adulting.
I think it's important for any couple to make time to do stuff together. But when you're living in an RV and you're constantly moving and you live in a tiny space, I feel like it's even more important. So Mark and I intentionally tried to make time to just have a date night, and Diamond Tooth Gertie's was great.
We just came out from date night.
Yeah.
We're tired, ready to go to bed. But do you see how bright it is?
There's the sun right there.
It's
Just going behind the mountain.
It's 10:30 at night and it is so bright outside. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. If you're in town, I recommend it. It was worth the $20 to get in per
Yeah.
person. That's Canadian dollars. And they had decent food. Drinks were good.
This is the only time you'll see me in a collared shirt.
The entertainment was really good. It was worth the show.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. All right, now we're gonna go home because the kids already put themselves to bed, and we gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
The next day, the kids and I had a full itinerary of hitting up some historical places in the city, and our first stop was the Dawson City Museum.
This is Jack London's cabin while he was here in the Klondike at Dawson City. So we're actually going to go in and a lady is going to talk about Jack London.
Okay, correction here. This is partially Jack London's cabin, but it wasn't here originally in Dawson City. The cabin was originally located south of Dawson City in Henderson Creek. When they found the cabin, the United States and Canada kind of had a debate on where the cabin should go, so they split it in half. Half's in Oakland and half is in Dawson City. Our last tour was the Grand Palace Theater. Built in 1899 by the flamboyant showman Arizona Charlie Meadows, a former performer in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, the theater was a lavish addition to the Parish of the North, as Dawson City was often called. It was known for its vaudeville acts, comedy, music, and melodramas. It also was known for its dance hall girls, who provided a little company for the miners. These bars that you see down this hallway is actually how the second floor is suspended from the roof, which is really crazy when you think about it. After the gold rush fever subsided, the theater fell into disrepair. However, recognizing its historical significance, Parks Canada reconstructed the theater in the 1960s, preserving the important piece of Canadian heritage. Today, it's not only historically significant, but it serves purpose in Dawson City for things like weddings, town hall meetings, graduation, and more. After dinner, adventure, we're heading up to Dome Mountain.
Midnight Dome Mountain.
Yeah, to get a view of the city, because it's probably not overcast and raining, and the clouds not hanging over the city. So let's go check it out. All right, so on our way back, Kennedy and I are doing some geocaching, and Mark went with Cooper to the skate park because he found another skate park in town, so it looked kind of cool. But what I want to say about geocaching is, while we love to do it, like some of these spots are like very in the middle of town, and so I feel like people are looking like we're casing the joint or like committing vandalism.
Yeah,
don't you think?
like that,
there's been like cars that have like
yeah,
driven by recently.
a car, he ran by and then he stopped.
Like he slammed on his brakes
to look at what we were doing.
Because obviously, you know, these places are important to the history of the town. So I don't want people to think that we're doing something. But we're really just geocaching. So be careful out there. You'll see in some geocaches, they will actually tell you to be careful because there'll be lots of people around and you don't want it to, you know, look like you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. But I think we're gonna go hit one more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today we are on a trip up to the Tombstone Territorial Park. It is the boundary for the tundra and the Arctic. So we were just reading the sign here. Lots of caribou, potentially muskox, which I would love to see. I've never seen a muskox in person. Yeah, it's the boundary where all the trees end, and it's just tundra. So kind of an interesting place. I can't wait to check it out.
Taking the Dempster Highway, which is famous for if you want to go to the Arctic Ocean. However, currently today, the rivers are flowing too high, and the ferries that you would need to take in order to cross the rivers are pulled out of the water when that happens. So people who are trying to make it to the Arctic Ocean cannot, but you can, I believe, still make it to the Arctic Circle. Now that's not a trip for today because it's like 450 miles, but we are going to take the famous Dempster Highway today. This bridge is narrow.
This is the Klondike River.
Yeah,
Oh, this little bridge something like.
it's pretty.
It's fast flowing.
Yeah, it is.
Look, I just pressed it first. So this is.
No, that's a 90.
90.
The Dempster roughly follows an old sled dog trail used by the Northwest Mounted Police. It was named after Corporal William Dempster, who was part of the infamous Lost Patrol expedition in 1911. The highway's construction was driven by the oil and gas exploration boom in the 1950s. Welcome to the Tombstone Territorial Park Visitor Center. There is camping, hiking, and even a picnic area. Those jagged mountains in the distance are some of the youngest mountains in
North America.
Tombstone Territorial Park is known for its rugged peaks, permafrost landscapes, and abundant wildlife.
And I guess during different times of the year you can probably hike back that way. But right now, things are very much still frozen. Beautiful though. Yeah. Everything's just starting to come alive. Little buds. So in the wintertime, the caribou come down here. But by March, they already start heading north to closer to the Arctic Circle. I think like these are the things that you come to like the Yukon, Northern Territories in Canada and Alaska for, are these like moments of peace and solitude, like where you really can appreciate nature. It's just beautiful. I know I say that a lot, but I think we're just in awe of everything that we see up here, and I'm grateful that we, you know, have a life where we can do this, and you know, for Mark to have a job that allows us to be able to take in the sights of this, because I don't know, it's pretty amazing.
We slowly made our way through the park, taking in the sights of the still frozen rivers. We traveled all the way to the very edge of the park boundary at Chapman Lake. The rangers had told us that this particular lake was full of all kinds of waterfowl, and it did not disappoint. We saw swans and swan babies, different kinds of beautiful ducks, and we even saw a ptarmigan. We heard moose like to frequent the lake too, but sadly on this day we had no luck. Once we were done, we turned around and head back through the park, and the view of the mountains as you go up the summit is stunning. As the ranger had suggested, it gives you a completely different vantage point as you drive through the park. I decided to switch out with Mark and let him have a rest, and as you can see, he fell asleep, which is kind of crazy because there's definitely some potholes in the Dempster. But then I also happened to put along this bear, so I'm sorry that the video is kind of blurry, but I was trying to drive and video this bear.
Hey everybody! Mark just went and did a breakfast run. We are moving today. After a week of being in Dawson City, Yukon, we are finally moving on. And we are going to get to Alaska, and we're going to be there for the rest of the summer. So, a little breakfast before we get ready. And we're taking the very, anticipated by us, top of the world road today. How are you feeling about that?
I don't know if anticipated is the right word.
So
Concerned is the right word.
Yeah, we talked to actually a lovely lady that we met in Skagway, who then went to Haines with us on the ferry, who then we ran into at breakfast yesterday morning. And she was telling us a little bit about her travel across top of the world. So
yeah, it's supposed to be rough.
Yeah, but it's also supposed to be beautiful. So
rough is what I heard.
Beautiful is what I heard. All right. Anyway, we're gonna finish packing up, and then we're gonna get going. So the kids just finished up turning in their Explorer books to Parks Canada, and what they do for their Explorer program, which is similar to a Junior Ranger program, is dog tags. Cool. Yeah. So they each got to pick dog tags for the 2 books that they completed, and like in the U.S., they said they do them all over Canada. So if you're traveling through, be on the lookout for Explorer programs from Parks Canada. One last thing before we go, the awning is not closing quite flush. Hi.
Are you guys heading across the border or you're going?
All right, we are heading out of Dawson City, but first we have to take a ferry. Wait till you see how tiny it is.
Before getting onto the ferry, you have to get in line. And depending on what time of year you're traveling through this area, the line can get pretty long. But as you can see, we kind of lucked out and there was only one other RV in front of us.
We're gonna put both of us campers on here. I'm a little surprised.
Looks like
This makes me nervous.
This small space in front of us is why I'm really glad that Mark is such a confident driver with our rig.
Can you see? I don't want to block your mirror. Ah. You're good. This way, she's saying. Yeah. Now straighten up. Yeah. Stop.
No problem.
And you said they just put a car on behind us?
Well, not behind us, but
behind the
other one.
The motorhome.
So they've got us back a little ways so that the other one can kind of go around us. Because right now, if we were to drive forward, we'd hit the side of the barge. So we got to we're both got to do this thing and come out. So.
As I mentioned in last week's video, the ride across the Yukon is only 5 to 7 minutes long. So we obviously sped this up. I'm not sure if you've noticed looking at the bank across the way, there is no landing platform. There's just dirt and gravel. They keep equipment there to constantly maintain it, but it's a little scary knowing that you're just offloading onto some dirt.
Alright, landing gear is down. Motorhome's gonna go first. I'm pulling your mirror and giving him a little extra room. See?
Nope. Oh, you don't need to do yours.
So close to us. Yikes. Let the cars out. See if he's got the car out. Here we go. Oh, careful.
Right here, we're obviously just worried about bottoming out, but it was actually no problem. We're good? Thank you!
Yay! Whew. We made it. We didn't bottom out. They are true professionals on the George Black. Like, it's definitely an adventure. My heart is still pounding a little bit. Glad we're over here.
Totally fine.
On to the top of the world.
Thanks for watching our video today, and we hope you enjoyed it. But join us on our next episode as we show you why they call it Top of the World Highway. And we finally reach Alaska, visit the town of Chicken, show you a little bit more about the road conditions on the way to Tok, and we find the most beautiful campsite just outside of Tok. Don't forget to thumbs up if you enjoyed.